Hi, it's Maura, and welcome to my channel Trifecta and a little bit extra. Today is Saturday, April 13th, and it's Jenny Wiley Day at Keeneland. It's also the last day for our 3-year-olds to earn entry into the Kentucky Derby. So let's look at the last 5 races at Keeneland today, starting in race 7. Race 7, the Giant Causeway Stakes, is 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Right now, the turf has soft ground, which is very important for you to know in your handicapping. Let me talk about the most obvious horse first. The number 8, Roses for Deborah. Roses for Deborah is trained by Christopher Clement and has Irad aboard. Anytime Irad is on a horse, I definitely look at it because he has a very high win rate. Roses for Deborah has a solid foundation. Out of the 11 races she has run, she's won 7 times. That's incredible. Now, we haven't seen her for 161 days, but that doesn't bother me when I see that she's been training consistently since February. If I have to look beyond the number 8, one of the more interesting choices I thought was the number 2, Bling. And with a name like Bling, of course I had to look at that horse. Bling is a 4-year-old. Now, why is that important to me? I like to look at the ages when I handicap because 3-year-olds, they're just learning what to do. 4-year-olds have a lot of upside. 5-year-olds, depending on what time we are in the year, they may have some upside. And 6-year-olds, we really know what they have, 6 and beyond. We really know what kind of races they're gonna run. So Bling has a lot of upside. 2 of the 3 wins that she's had has been 5.5 furlongs on the turf, and 1 is at Keeneland. And that's also very important for me. I like to see that they have experience on the track. She also does well on a good surface. Other horses that I found very interesting, number 1, Play the Music, number 4, Ouvre, and number 7, Port Townsend. Now, 7 is very much stepping up in class, but this is a Sherry DeVoe horse, and out of 4 starts, she's had 2 wins. I also want to do a shout out to the number 9 horse, Kiss by Fire. Kiss by Fire is owned by Commonwealth, which you know I love to have ownership with Commonwealth horses. I did not purchase into Kiss by Fire, but I have a lot of friends that do. So hi to all my Commonwealth friends and good luck to you. She's a fabulous horse and has Mike Smith aboard. I just didn't know how to handicap her, not knowing how she would do on the soft ground, but am really going to pull for the 9 horse and all of my friends. Now let's move on to the 8th race, which is a 1.16 miles on dirt and it's an allowance race. I only found 1 horse interesting, and that was the number 1, Giant Game. Giant Game is trained by Dale Romans, and I feel like Giant Game has the most foundation out of any of these horses and also has a lot of speed. I think this race is going to be a very fast-paced race based on the other running styles of the other horses. And when it's a fast pace, I look for who has really good late pace or who's a good closer. Giant Game is not a closer, but has very strong late pace. If you had to look for a closer, I would say definitely look at the number 7, which is Classic Catch, trained by Todd Pletcher, again with Irad aboard. Not as classy as the number 1, but could come in late and be very strong. Also, if the dirt is not firm and fast, upgrade the number 4, Brigadier General. Now let's go to the 9th race, the Jenny Wiley, which is one of the featured races of the day. It's 1.16 miles on the turf for the fillies. Out of the last 6 runnings of the Jenny Wiley, Chad Brown has dominated. So I'm going to only look at Chad Brown horses today. He's got 4, and 3 I found the most interesting. The first one is the number 2, Fluffy Socks. Fluffy Socks has, of course, Irad aboard. And out of the 9 tries at this distance, won once and came in second 5 times. This may be the best distance for this horse. Looking at the number 6, Gina Romantica, I really love Gina Romantica. I saw her win at Keeneland last fall, but I also think she may be more of a miler. Now, we haven't seen this horse for 161 days, but that doesn't bother me because this is Chad Brown and he gets his horses ready to run. Finally, I'm going to cover the number 7, Surge Capacity, which may be the most interesting of the Chad Brown horses for me. The number 7 is a 4-year-old with Joel Rosario on board. Out of the 5 starts, she's had 4 wins and 1 second place. So absolutely amazing track record, and I can't wait to see her run today. If you're not going to play Chad Brown today and want to look elsewhere, I would go to the number 3, Elusive Princess, trained by Arnold Delacour with Junior Alvarado on board. Out of the 9 tries on wet ground, this horse has had 4 wins. Moving on to the 10th race, the Lexington Stakes. This is the final race to get into the Kentucky Derby. So we have 3-year-olds going 1 mile and a 16th on the dirt. I'm going to be looking at the Wine Steward, the number 2. This is a Mike Maker horse with Louis Saez on board. This horse came in 2nd at this track, this distance, last time out. Has been off for 189 days, but good workouts since mid-February. There are 2 other horses I really want to highlight. Encino, which is the number 8 horse. It's a Brad Cox horse. Encino scratched out of the bluegrass last week to come to this race to get points. And if I'm looking at some of Encino's other races, I see that Encino beat Epic Ride in his last going. That's important because Epic Ride was in the bluegrass, which was a very strong Derby prep race, and came in 3rd. I always like to look at who did the other horses run against and who did they beat. So this makes me upgrade Encino. Now I'm also going to be looking at the number 10, Lucky Jeremy. Lucky Jeremy has also run at this distance, which is very important to me for 3-year-olds. He was 3rd in the Sunland Derby, and again, that was important because that race was won by Stronghold, who came back to win the Santa Anita Derby. If there is wet ground, I would definitely upgrade the number 4, Footprint. Now, I also want to highlight the number 1 horse. I don't know why this horse has caught my eye, never has gone this distance, but it's on the rail is winning, 2nd off the layoff, and has Rosario on board. I would look at that horse a little bit more. Now on to the last race at Keeneland today, the 11th race. It's 3-year-olds going long on the turf, soft ground, anybody's race. I'm just going to give you a couple horses for you to research. The 4, Deadpan, the 5, Royal Majesty, the 8, St. Armand's Key, 9, Moonlight, 10, Beyond Stoked. You could look at those horses and try to do your own analysis to figure out which ones you like best. But there is one that really caught my eye, and that is the number 6 horse, Gorilla Trek. Phil Bauer wins at a 40% clip at Keeneland. Definitely look at the number 6, Gorilla Trek. Good luck today, and remember, you're risking your own money, not mine. So do all of your own research and play only the horses that you like. If you like my channel, please hit subscribe or find me at trifectaandextra.com. I wish you all the luck in the world, and cheers!